All right, welcome back, everybody. We are down to our last, possibly 3 games. We've got a banger here for you. This is the loser semifinal to see who's going to take on St. Charles Cyber Corsairs in the lower bracket finals to take on, who we think is going to be Francis Howell. But we got to get through this game right now. We got to go through Gateway Science versus Foxes.
Yep, two teams that we have seen quite a bit of today. The Fox is now the third time that they've been on stream. We know what they can do. Of course, between, I believe it was Rogue on the May, historically has been amazing when it has come to this squad. And I've absolutely loved to see them in all of the various performances. Oh, excuse me, not Rogue on this one. I have completely mixed up my teams. This is the one with Nano Reed, with Mango, Typic, Gnarly Harbor, and Gnarly Harbor. So these guys, all right, we know what we're talking about. They like this brawl. They like to make it happen. And, oh, it is the one with Rogue. See, I just can't read. I guess that's kind of the... I've seen so many spreadsheets today, Billy. You know, it all just kind of blends. But it is Rogue. It is the stellar May player of the day. So we know what to expect from them. Meanwhile, we're going to take a trip back to game number 1, the first one that was on stream today, to see our squad on the left, the Gateway Science Academy Gators. And they had a very dominant showing in their game 1, probably the most polarizing game that we've seen all day. But now their skill is really going to be put to the test.
Absolutely. And I think that you put out there that Rogue had an amazing time on May. It's amazing that you got that. Got to put the line out there. If you're going to commit to it, commit to it all the way. Jeez Louise. But Nepal is going to be where we start out here. We're still in round 4 map up. So for Fox Senior High School, the Warriors. I mean, they took a dive down here into the lower bracket, but they have been working their way. Gateway has actually been longer in the lower bracket. So, I mean, these teams are tested. They're ready. Their tournament life is on the line, and it's all going to start up in the Himalayas.
Yep, Nepal, once again, where will we be opening up our series. We were talking a little bit about before how this control map in particular is quite a decent one to get an idea of where these teams stand, because there is a variety in the type of maps you have. You have 2 more brawly ones, and then you got this guy. This guy is called Sanctum. It's a big old pit in the middle, and rotations are the name of the game and how you can hold these various choke points throughout. So there's always a ton of importance on this very first fight. The positioning that you opt to take for can define the entire control area.
Well, I mean, we saw what happened last series when a team tried to force a composition that just didn't work. Well, I don't think we're going to have this problem here. Gnarly Harbor versus Twizzy. These are 2 tanks that have really made their marks and only having lost to the top teams. So, I mean, this is like, where we make the rubber meet the road. We're down to our final 4 teams now. And, well, we're seeing the best of the best here in Missouri right now in the high school scene. And we're going to see how they join battle. Ramatra v. Orissa.
Beating up on this initial high ground. This traditionally where fights will take place on Nepal. But this Bastion Twizzy is losing health very quickly. Has to get back to that natural cover. The whole team pushed back by the Annihilation form. And that is enough. This is the aggression that they are known for. The Fox Senior High Warriors will be making their first mark. And Nano Reed playing a big part of that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they just sped on top of Twizzy. And Twizzy had nowhere to go. Yeah, Bastion go Berber. The big problem is that, they don't have an initiation right now.
Yeah. They don't have the initiation, but also look at their support line, too, is you have a Romy on the Kiriko, which I don't have much of a problem with, other than the fact you don't have the same amount of sustain for your tank as the other side does. He goes out on Nano Reed, though. Nano Reed was up there in comparison to the rest of the team. So, yeah, you're going to get punished for that. Gateway are still an incredible squad when it comes to their team play. They will call you out on your mistakes, but same goes for Sox Senior High. DPS down on either side. Point still in control of red for the time being. But the more aggressive that we're seeing Twizzy get here, that could change very soon. The Kitsune Rush plus this Terror Surge, impending doom for the Fox Senior High Warriors. They're going to go ahead, back off a little bit, and sacrifice the percentage.
I mean, look at this, though. I mean, they take the good fight there. They hold on to the Terror Surge. They've got the tires. I mean, that's a good wombo combo that could come in here. They just want to force out that Immortality Barrier. They're going to go ahead and pop the Annihilation.
The Annihilation early, though. So that's Twizzy's opportunity to combo with Slasher. It's effective. Gateway Science Academy knew what the play had to be and executed it.
I understood the assignment. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely perfect. Yeah, it's like kind of like the old meme, like, hello, fellow high school students. No, really did understand how to take care of that fight, and they do it with style. Now they're going to take the lead here. It did cost them 3 ultimates, so the sound barrier was invested in response to that annihilation. So, I mean, for them, a pretty good fight. They still have the attack visor to boot.
You got time. You have resources to go out your way, and the Gateway Status Academy are quite literally gatekeeping this point, but when Icicle meets Slasher between the eyeballs, that's a lot of that spam and damage gone, so Gateway, they are on the back pedal here. Maybe Cypher can get in a position to use this ultimate, but with half your team going off the map and the other half frozen into popsicles, you're gonna hold on to that one.
I mean, you take that. You trade out the Blizzard, you know, you get the tactical reset with help, and now you come back in with your tac visor. It's gonna force this sound barrier out. What they really need to worry about, though, is the artillery strike, and they're going to put it out early.
Ooh, really early, almost too
Right,
early here.
Fizzy.
All right, I spoke too soon now. There you go. There's 2 people. They're scrambling to find some safe cover, but their tank had already committed to the fight, so they were all stuck out in the middle of nowhere, be hit with those artillery shells, and Foxy near high, though, they get over aggressive. Nanoreed can't keep doing this.
No, and I mean, I thought Slasher had gotten up, but in fact did not. This is actually a chance for them to get on the point. They amp speed, they're going to have the sound barrier at the back.
They have all the resources here. I mean, this is a fight that Gateway Academy should be able to snowball into their favor, and here's the biggest thing, though. They have the point control, right? Fox, they're not in a position to contest that, so you give it up. Understand that you have the resources, and it's only going to take one fight to close out Sanctum.
What a spear again, and they got the terror surge up, the immortality barrier's up, the tac visor's out. Oh no, they're starting to press Q.
And that's 1 Q pressed. Are we gonna have any more? Well, we certainly will. Not at this exact moment. Gateway have 4 ultimates to their name still. Even if the attack visor didn't come up with a whole lot, it's gonna be this Riptire combo with the Terror Surge. Once again, what is it gonna find? It's gonna find 3. This is a fight that if Gateway Gators end up taking it away, Billy, that will be all she wrote on the map of Sanctum. Strong start on Nepal for the Gateway Gators.
It's not done yet, and they invest in sound barrier too. It's celebration. This is not good for them. They have nothing to combine with this. They've got a sound barrier at the back. 98, 99 days there in touch. No! Gators actually stealing Sanctum away from Fox Senior High, punishing the over-aggression from Fox. And it was on the back of losing that May, the staying power, when they got a little bit too aggressive going after Slasher 76, and the pure rotation that came from Twizzy. They just said, yeah, peace, I'm out. I'm going to out-rotate you and take the point, and they had point control, and they had everything in their larder. I thought that the loss of the sound barrier there was going to be, you know, bad juju, but they end up surviving anyway. So we head to Shrine. We're looking at Ramatra v. Ramatra here. The soldier look right now is starting to look absolutely brilliant.
Yep. Yeah, you have the ability to move, and that is something that Faction lacks. Even if it's less damage in totality, you're more consistent and you're more likely to stay alive. But what in the world happened to Twizzy? I'm sorry. I look up and suddenly the health bar is gone. All right, well, I guess Fox Senior High are just going to go ahead and win the fight after Nanoreed and Rogue just shredded through Gateway's tank before they knew what hit him.
And look, there's a lot of aggression there. I mean, the Swift Step was up there for the kids, for the Kiriko. So, I mean, you know, a little bit of ult charge over there, but lots of healing resources coming out for them. I want to see them get aggressive, and they've got an Ashe on the field now.
Double hit scan. This is a very ranged comp, which when you're trying to break into a bunker, you would think that's going to help you a little bit, just kind of pepper down some of these players, but you're not going to do as well when you try to take this brawl head on head. You need players being stationed more back, like Aromi once again. We talked about how good this guy is on the Kiriko. Finds that first pickoff for the Gators. They're going to start to rotate onto that objective. They don't have a lot of health, and Twizzy falls over once again. Aromi, the only one still finding these eliminations here, and I mean, this is something that Fox Senior High, they're starting to get locked down. Oh, look, it's 2-A rush. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Aromi, you okay there? I question the decision making on that one. 50% and counting. Yikes. I'm worried.
Staggered.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
you're going to go bye-bye. Yeah, Rogue is too good. I mean, whether it's the beam or it's the icicle or the ice cream machine, it's just too good. It's just too good.
Hey, you know what? That's how May kills you. She feeds you too much ice cream that you literally explode. I like
It's true. It's true.
Hey, ice cream is the best. Might have to get some after this game, but ice cream is for winners, and Gateway Science Academy have to get themselves on the point very soon if they want a chance at taking that prize. So they don't have a lot of tools to work with. You ideally have to use the sound barrier just to even get to the point, because the damage that they're facing along the way is insane. The photon barrier, negating anything that they could possibly do on the other side. Aromi, the first one to fall, and Quizzy hasn't been able to do anything this entire map, Billy. That says something, knowing that tank player.
I mean, you're going into a Bastion. You're going into a Symmetra, and they have better mobility than you right now, and they got the Annihilation out. They've got the tendrils going. They've got the kills going.
Yeah, they got the kills going. That's Fox getting aggressive. They're gonna pack away Shrine and take us to a round 3 of Village. We've talked about this so many times today. When you're picking these compositions, you gotta be able to change some of it up. And what we saw from Gateway there, it's not bad. I mean, Aromi is great at the Kiriko, don't get me wrong. Same thing goes with what you're running on the DPS. But when you can't match that damage or healing output of your opponents, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage by picking these heroes.
Yep, and I mean, there's still time to swap. I mean, it is 1-1 here in Nepal. The Himalayas are shaking right now with all the sounds of battle. And I think that right now, I mean, going over the Junkrat, yep, I'll take that. That's a good spam damage. It'll make them reposition as well. It'll put Nano Reed under some serious duress. And that's exactly what you need to do. You can't let this Bastion get set up and get comfortable. Almost goes down there.
Woo! I mean, Slasher still needs to be healed up right now. I mean, the Junkrat's going to be your main source of damage. You need to try to disrupt this setup that you see the Fox has going on right now. But when you get cut off like that, that is what Fox is good at. Is they're recognizing when players are out of position and they just run them down. Time and time again, this happens, which is why they've made such a long run since round 1 in the losers bracket.
Oh, we're going to see if Aromi can get anything done. Aromi's just kind of sticking around here. Going to get burned down by some turrets. I mean, the aim is good. I mean, the aim is good. But I think that the decision-making is something that we can be kind of zeroing in on. Fox is coming back with their Bastion. They're going to get set up, and they're still battling over this high ground.
Yeah. And, what else can you really throw? This Gnarly Harbor is still alive. Has all of the sustain in the world to be able to work with, and now with Nano Reed back, everybody else is going to struggle to break through this choke point. You just can't keep fighting in this area against the Symmetra, against the Bastion. You are not going to make it out alive, Gators.
Nope, that's it. That'll be a 2-piece right there. And yeah, Gnarly gets a 3K to boot. We'll have some ultimates coming up online here for Fox. They've got a lot of sustain here. They've got a lot of aggression tamers here as well. The tire has not been built yet by Slasher. They just die too fast.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? Is that Fox are winning these fights so quickly because they take the initiative like that. Cypher was caught out. Mango with their second of the fights, doing a true DPS on the support, coming up when the team needs it the most, filling whatever role is necessary. And I mean, Fox, they're ready. They're anticipating Gateway's every move and shut them down at the start.
I mean, this is where swaps have to come through. You're at 70% and counting. You're going to go down match point here. And I'm worried. I'm worried for Gateway because they're just a little bit stubborn. Cypher has not gotten the same amount of value that we saw on Sanctum. They don't have the sight lines. They need to go on a flank, and they need to pull the attention away.
Someone's got to split up from the norm here. And
it's over.
Looking to be that player. Yeah, you're right. That's actually going down. The rest of us rumble under the Annihilation. Gnarly Harbor has been running a mock throughout the last round of Nepal, and is going to make this a dominant completion of this map. I mean, what can we else say about the Fox Senior High Warriors? They learned, they adapt, and that's never gets them that first game win. One step closer to moving up.
I mean, it was on the back of Mango. I mean, Mango just keeping them in. I mean, they got really run over. They got run over on Sanctum. I mean, it was just too good out from them. I mean, look at this, using the aggressive Kitsune Rush there. And, I mean, they invested everything into this fight, but I mean, it gets them the win. We need more of that. We need more coordinated play. We need them to all be focusing down one target and moving as a 5-person unit, and not taking, these little side battles, not trying to keep forcing a choke that you can't get through. The healing resources just wasn't enough. You didn't have a Baptiste. You can't get through that amount of damage unscathed, and we saw it time and time again. This is where I think that the high school scene sometimes gets a little bit stalemated, is that there's not the ability to quickly adapt. And I think that's where you have to have that coach in your ear, say, make the swap, make the swap, make the swap. And then we'll see. We'll see if they could turn it around here. Gateway Science Academy, the Gators, going down to match point now. And we need to see if Fox is going to be able to clean it up, or do we see a reverse sweep? Because that did happen earlier today.
It did. And honestly, there is still potential for that to happen. When we look at what the Gators did, it wasn't even a matter of their individual skill. That we don't doubt. They won an entire map on Nepal. We know that they can win, but what it comes down to is some of the harder parts of the game of Overwatch is knowing when to make that change. And if you can't figure it out for yourself, have that coach go, talk between this break, communicate with each other, and figure out what a game plan is going to be heading into our second match, which I believe it will be Eichenwald today. Very different from how Nepal was played out. Some components can change, but if we know anything, the Gators, something be different.
Yep, and I mean, we will see your Gators come out on the defense, so no side swaps here. Oh, I'm kind of curious to see what Rogue's going to bring out here. Are you going to bring the Symmetra again, or are you going to go back to the Mei? It looks like you're going to bring the Symmetra out here. You may actually swap over to the Mei just to get everybody out, but I don't see any reason to. I mean, very accurate, very quick to charge the microwave beam. Looks like we do have some changes coming up here from Gateway Science Academy. It looks like we've got, the Bastion and the Soldier. I don't hate that. But the big thing is that Romy has gone over to the Baptiste. Maybe you realize that you have to have that immortality barrier and the ability to have a window. But Astronova on the Zenyatta, this is the interesting part. This is a greedy backline.
This is either going to work really well or it's going to fail immediately. There isn't really an in-between here because Zenyatta is great. You got a Discord Orb that effectively takes away 25% of one's health bar as soon as it is applied, but you're also incredibly diveable. You do not move as a hero, so the Zenyatta is a prime collapse target, and with knowing how the Foxes like to play, they know their rotations, Billy. I mean, they just teleport straight onto the objective, and look who goes down first. Mr. Nova. That's the thing with running the Zenyatta. It is a risky play, one that is not working this time around, especially with Gateway. They're not on point. Where are you looking? They're not looking together. That's what we can determine right now. Whereas Fox Senior High, as always, are continuing to be on the same page.
This is incredibly inefficient. And I'm not sure what you're going into a teleporting team. So the lack of mobility here for Astronova, you're going to be a feed target every single time that you go in there. Your lines of sight have to be so perfect. And now, they're firing at the teleporter. They're not even there.
No. Do they even know where they are right now? I mean, who is it? It's just Tippett vibing on the payload. I'm like, look, Tippett can get out. Tippett goes on Lucio, and you skate on walls, you move around, but look at Gateway right now. They're struggling to keep Twizzy alive against all the pressure. Nano Raid, though, once again, overextending. That's been a common punish factor for Gateway that allows them to take some of these fights. So now that they're up, there isn't that same pressure on themselves to stay alive. Can they convert on it? Aromi goes down, just way too far up in the front line, and some of these positioning things that we're starting to see from Gateway Science Academy. Once they're in a fight, there is no escape option, unlike that for Fox Senior High, which has kept them alive in some of these key battles.
And then that's going to be the Zenyatta going down again. They're going to go try and hide. Yeah, you're trying to throw a volley, basically against the C, and that C is going to roll right over the top of you, and that's exactly what happened there. This is a compositional difference once again.
And at this point, we're still committing to the Zenyatta. Okay, no, we're on the Kiriko now. That is a little bit better. Not the same, but you do have an escape option if needed. So, Gateway Gators, they want to try to get the stop here onto the bridge. Can they do so, though? That's the teleport in to the middle of their team. Earthshatter plus some. Laying down. It's chaotic here outside the gates of the Eichenwald Castle, but it is Slasher with the final say in several individual lives of these players. The boop might have tried to come through, but the payload is going to be contested as Gateway have finally found their footing.
But I mean, it's the changeup. It's the changeup they're coming from through the Kiriko, and it's also bringing out the Reaper. And I mean that puts Gnarly Harbor into serious danger because you cannot kill as much. You've got the escape factor with the swift step and the teleport, and then Death Blossom basically erodes everything around you. So I mean they've got so much better options here. I really wish they would have seen that coming out, but I mean Slasher going down. Yep, this is the engage point for them to go.
You have the elimination that you needed. Slasher hung around way too long for their liking. And what do you have for Fox Senior High? The sound barrier, the artillery strike. Should they even need it? Witch with Tippet going down. All right, time to start committing a little bit more. Gnarly Harbor straight into the back line right now. And that's Nano Reed coming up on some of this greater damage moving through. The Ant Matrix is helpful, but Twizzy is still alive. That's the difference in the sustain. Even though Astronova and Arobi went down, it was enough to give Twizzy the health pool to stand tall.
Yep, and I mean they get the fight win, 245, and I mean, we're knocking on the door of the keep here, but with Terra Surge, I mean, a very good place to hold. If they can catch this, if they can catch the rotation, as the payload has now gone back around the corner, they actually have a great spot to engage with this Terra Surge. I mean, look at this, the damage coming in is too big. Oh my goodness, almost goes down.
Is Slasher going to live, though? I mean, they're out here in the backline against a Bastion and a Baptiste. You're not going to win that. So, escape plan activated. Moving back to the side. So, Gateway, they're down a player in the front line. Granted, they have plenty of tools to pull out Twin. It is so needed. So, we get the Terra Surge down first. Big chunk of damage gained out. That's the Immortality field gone. Plus some more. In the backside, Slasher finally making their way back to the team. Barely managed to stay on the card. Actually, you teleport, assuming you're about to fall off the map in that regard. So, the fact that they're still alive, yeah, that's great, but that's a bonus. The resources coming back has to be Slasher to come up big, and that too, plus breaking the shield, and Cypher will take care of the rest. Gateway Science Academy, this is what we wanted to see from them.
Oh, goodness. This is exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. We needed maximum damage. We needed maximum aggression. We needed some really cerebral play. And we're getting that from Slasher. We saw it on the Junkrat. Didn't get as much of that during the the last two maps of Nepal. But now we're back into our good graces. And now we're starting to find it. Now the swap to the Mace. This is going to make life a little bit more interesting for the Reaper.
Yeah, but the Earth Shatter went down, and I don't even think that landed onto anybody. As a matter of fact, the only one it hit was Twizzy, who was fortified and fine to fight another day. This one is still up for grabs, though. The team on Fox, they're incredibly low. They lost their Baptiste. That was the first one they went through, and Twizzy is prime position to follow up, knock everybody else off of the map, and just like that, it's been nearly 5 minutes, and we're down to final fight.
I mean, Twizzy almost has another Terra Surge.
Wow.
Tiny.
Wow.
That is the power of Twizzy on this Orisa. We love them on the Orisa. It is working in spades. And you've got a window to prevent the approach. Oh, Lord. Fox Senior High, you are in serious trouble.
Oh, they don't have much. There's not much left in the tank that you have to force out here. And all you need is an early window from Romy. Help them zone it out, but it's the Suzu and the Immortality field to save the Bastion. Nothing left for the Baptiste. It's going to be an overdrive mode. Twizzy knows that it's now or never. Goes into the backline, burned it down. And the Bastion, it was a miracle attempt. That's all you were hoping for, and it did not arrive where it needed to. The artillery strike from Nano Reed could have had better placement to allow Fox Senior High sneak through into the Castle of Unkenwald.
Twizzy over to the Ramatra now. So, I mean, you're going to be able to get hands on Gnarly Harbor. That's what you're wanting to see inside here. Much more brawly. Also, Death Blossom is going to be available. There is very few places to hide in here. Maximum value could be achieved.
Not only from the Death Blossom, but I sense a blizzard from Rogue that's about to be dished out. Good old Snowball will make an appearance, though. Beautiful Suzu to help players scooch to the back, and they're hiding. They're corralled in the small corner. Can they stay alive? No. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Gateway Academy, despite everything, they haven't been able to recover. It's on Slasher. Slasher, the last player standing, is making it happen for their team, but has 79 health. Can they get the elimination on the right heart? No. The payload will be stopped, though. Gnarly Harbor not wanting to hang around.
Oh, absolutely perfect.
Oh,
absolutely perfect. I mean, so low health. The vampire healing. with the shotguns, the Hellfire shotguns, gets them just enough health to survive through it. Oh my gosh, 30 seconds left. Shatter and window and the sound barrier ready to go for Fox High. Meteor. Oh
yeah.
gosh. Artillery strike.
Come on, please, please, please. No, Sniper goes. No, nothing to be seen there. A Romy falling after it is all red in the kill feed. Fox Senior High rounding the final quarter of Eichenwald. If they can manage to get this with time on the clock, that would be some form of miracle. It's getting closer and closer. As long as one of these players can get a touch, try to at least push it to an overtime, even if you don't win the fight. That is something that Gateway can go ahead and work with, because the Fox Senior High Warriors want to take Eichenwald the entire distance. All that's preventing them from getting there, just about 1.5 meters, and a couple measly stragglers coming out from the blue side. But the third point shall be captured. It is inevitable. The bar for Gateway Science Academy, it's certainly up there.
But man, what a fight back. What a fight back from the Gators. If you are a Gateway Science Academy fan right now and parent, I would be on my feet. I would be roaring. Yep. I would be, doing the Gator Chomp with your hands. I mean, whatever you need to do to get yourself up for this, I thought I would be doing right now. Fox Senior High, they got pushed through their paces there. And I think now for Gateway, they have a key to unlocking this Fox Senior High squad. We just need to see the adaptations happen just a little bit faster. And I think that this is going to be a way better map than what I think everybody is expecting. Because the way that Fox were playing and the way that Gateway Science were playing just a few minutes ago, I would have said that we would have had like 3 minutes on the time bank going into this attack phase. As it is, there's 0 time. And, well, Fox has decided they're going to swap things up. This pick, by the way.
What?
I love this pick.
You love this pick? Okay, if you whisper, I can't understand what you say, Sheffield. But I do like the pick too. I mean, we know Darley Harbor taking up the Sigma here. They're playing at the range. There's a pharmacy in the sky. Now, this is something that Gateway Science Academy, it's not going to be easy to fight through. They're putting a lot of pressure on Cypher to keep Rogue and Typic at bay. Not only that, you're splitting your entire focus of the team. That is what Afara does, and that's the part that is most deadly about seeing these players in the sky.
You also are facing an Ana coming in from Gateway, so I mean, there's some stuff here that Fox are going to have to be dealing with, because they do not have a Kiriko out there.
Nope.
So Anti will get you down.
And that's the other thing too, is as soon as that anti-nade comes in, we're gonna see Twizzy start to take out those big old punching fists and make their way right over Gnarly Harbor. But they gotta get there first. They haven't really made a decisive move, but there it is. It's a bio-nade in. Mango got locked up, so you move in. Very little healing remaining for Fox Senior High, especially since Typic is locked up in the air. They're not gonna have Mango for the time being, and Gateway Science Academy, they're kind of hanging around, or at least Slasher is on the tracer. That stagger, though, not ideal.
Good first fight here from Fox. I mean, they kind of bent, but they did not break. And I think that's, how you have to play first point here. Either you have to be extremely decisive and get a team wipe and, GG go in, or you have to take your time and bide your time and really whittle down the resources. But as the ultimates start to come up, including this barrage, they've got to have their eye on the sky.
You have to be. Rogue, even if they manage to get 1, maybe 2 here, I mean, that is perfect trade out for Afara Ultimate if they can have the chance to use it, because Twizzy wanted to make the first move, but it's Rogue coming in. That is the damage from the Afara through it. Matrix, mind you, so double the damage on those already painful rocket explosions.
Nano Engage available to Gateway Science here. Maybe Nano Tac Visor is the way to go. You just want to pull out 2 things here when you set this fight up. You want to pull out the Kinetic Grasp, and then you want to pull out the Immortality Barrier. So a couple of orders of operation here for them to be able to get into it. That's a good first pick.
Okay, all right, Cypher, that's what we're talking about. Nano Visor coming into play. They saw that all of those main resources were out, Billy. Is when they pull the trigger and start to move in. The Gravitic Flux committed incredibly late here. Gnarly Harbor ideally going to want that one back. Will not get the opportunity to. As Gateway Silence are starting to gain their progress.
This is adaptation. It's innovation. I love it. And we've got the double hit scan out too. We failed to mention that Slasher went over to the Ash. And so now you've got mobility, the ability to quickly reposition yourself. And then you've got the spam damage from the dynamite that's going to force a lot of cooldowns out of the healing staff of Fox. Also, Bob is just about online. The 6-man could be huge here.
Just having that extra point of fire. I mean, Gateway Science Academy, that's going to get something else to turn Fox Senior High's head back around. And I want to dive in. Look at that. Early Fox essentially landing on the head of Aromi. Doesn't seem to matter, though, because Nano Reed using the tech visor, most of it went into the Bob and the tank. So what do you don't really gain much from them. The Gateway Science Academy still very much around and present in this fight, are going to be ready to re-engage shortly once that Kitsune Rush is an option.
Well, I mean, sleep onto Mango, actually huge, because it stops the, yeah, well, there it is.
Oh, Bionade, oh.
He's going to go down, no, he's not going to go down. Oh my God, how does he stay?
Mango is just a different kind of beast. I love seeing this Baptiste player come in, and unfortunately, you can't do much against an Annihilation Strike. That is Gateway Science Academy, knowing what their win conditions are and using them correctly.
And well, what's even more impressive is that it's Aromi really finding the sweet spot with these nades, getting it done on the back end. Another big one. God, that catches the floor.
Oh my God. Look, that's already the immortality field out. So when there's Nanovisor, there's already a Nanovisor. You have the Kitsune Brush. Gateway Science Academy, they're gonna close this out, right? They don't lose this fight. You do not lose this fight. The Blizzard thrown into the back. This Suzu is there to help protect you, but maybe you do lose this fight. Hold up. That was a Nanovisor that actually ended up coming out when everyone else was still locked up and frozen. There's a couple players going around, and Aramori apparently decided to play the role of the tank today. All right, I don't have a problem with that. Have Cypher to back you up. Bob can be the new tank, but when you get walked on like this from an Aramacha, that's actually Annihilation. Gnarly Harbor closed out. You take that trade. Honestly, you go ahead and take that trade.
Oh, yes, you definitely take that trade too. I mean, the healing resources there, you got your take back as well. You've got the Kitsune Rush, and the wall is huge from Rogue once again.
Oh, man. I mean, Rogue is just doing a great job. Like, you wouldn't have gotten those eliminations without that wall. Rogue is just, Rogue is May. May is Rogue. That's how it works. I'm convinced at this point. They do so much on the evil Ice Queen of Overwatch that is single-handedly keeping Fox Senior High in these fights.
I want everybody to know that I am personally the one that has turned Tiny against the Ice Demon. I have been calling her the Ice Demon for years. And now I finally kind of like her a little bit because I'm starting to learn to play her.
Because you play her, you don't play against her, Billy. That's why. That is why you don't like her. And when Rogue, we can see that with Rogue, right? When Rogue is just absolutely destroying Gateway Science Academy, they have a plan, and then, uh-oh, there's a Maywall in my face. Uh-oh, I can't move fast anymore. That's a problem.
It is. You're right. Oh, nice rotation. Nice rotation. Gnarly. Hello?
Gnarly out there, dude. I'm telling you, it's the dive bombs from the high ground. How many of these have we seen from Gnarly Harbor? Quite a few. But we also see this from Twizzy. When Annihilation comes out, there's often a lot of people that fall as a result, especially with the Nano Boost. Now in tow for this Ramatra player. Gateway Academy finally build up those key ultimates once again to get the payload the final couple meters into its docking point. But this one still has plenty of distance to go.
Oh, okay, great kill there on the Gnarly Harbor. That's going to be a late stagger. It's going to take a little bit for them to get in here. Oh, yeah, I mean, we're looking at another Blizzard interference from Rogue. Oh, my word. This is, oh, no, bye-bye, Nano. Bye-bye. Bye.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay, Nova still has Kitsune Rush, Billy. Somehow, we haven't seen the Kitsune Rush yet. Hey, now's the time for you to use it. You're nearing final fight, and if you can get Rogue out of the picture before I see a Blizzard laid down. Oh, nope, too late. There's the Blizzard. Kitsune Rush now, after it comes out, the Suzu there for perfect timing. All right, Astronova, negating a value an entire ultimate with just their kit alone. OP, maybe. Not up for me to decide today. Nano Reed, though, proving why Bastion certainly needs a nerf. Vibing behind the Ant Matrix here. You don't break through that. You simply do not. Fox Senior Warriors rally behind that extra damage output that Nano Reed provides their team to start pushing forward. But can they survive the annihilation on both sides? There's so many colors happening on my screen. That is the Nano, the anti-Aromi, the one to have the deciding tool in their bank. Even if they're not in the kill feed, they might as well be.
Oh my goodness, that was perfect fight. perfect fight. The
Wow.
anti-nade that came in was so huge. Oh my gosh, the Death Blossom clears the plate. 17 seconds difference. They actually beat Fox Senior High's time.
Wow. All right. We got a match, Billy. We got a match.
I think we go on 3. I think we're
You
going
think
3.
we're going 3?
I think we're going 3.
Ooh. Okay. Just be the biggest caster coach of all time.
I mean, they can blame me. If it happens, they can blame me. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
But I mean, they're playing their hearts out. I mean, let us cast our minds back while we're waiting for these teams to set up and pick their heroes. Let us cast our mind back to what happened on the attack, and we saw an Astronova Zenyatta. When they swapped Astronova over to Kiriko, and they put Slasher onto the Reaper, everything changed. So compositional differences, and Aromi, the biggest one, Aromi going to the Baptiste. Once those changes were made, they all of a sudden became a completely different team. And now, for Fox, they're up against it. They're going to get maybe 2 fights, maybe. And with the damage that we see coming out here, this is actually going to be a lot in the favor of Gateway Science Academy, especially since Gnarly is coming out on the Reinhardt. You are going to have Rogue on the Symmetrist, so it's not going to be the nice demon out there this time.
No. Honestly, that's not a bad thing. I mean, Fox High Senior High are excellent when it comes to these rotations and catching teams off guard. It's worked on Gateway thus far. Can be able to do it again because you now have Slasher on this faction here. So we're seeing something a little bit different. Finally matching that output from Nano Reed, and will actually end up getting Fox Senior High's main source of damage out of the battle number 1. That's usually the player we've been seeing going down first, Fox Senior High, because they get overly aggressive, and that is something that Gateway Science Academy are going to capitalize on. It's only 1 minute on the clock, Billy. This is the one fight that the Gators got on this map. Fox Senior High can make an attempt to touch, but I don't think that they can get there.
Maybe the Wrecking Ball comes through. Maybe. I mean, 3, 2, 1, they touch. But I mean, you're going to get blitzed down. I mean, it's done. Yeah, that's it. You're done.
We didn't get a draw. We don't get a draw. We don't get a draw at all. Gateway Science Academy, this is the statement that they needed a Romy. Even coming up with those final blows. I mean, what better way to head into your own attack? They need 33.3333, etc. % of this point to get themselves a map and have the potential for a reversed sweep. In a minute, 17 seconds to do it, Billy. But is it in the cards for them today? Can they hold it together just like they did on this last defense?
I mean, as long as Aromi comes out on the Baptiste. As long as that happens, and then we're going to see Rogue. I'm calling it now. We're going to see the May come out here. Just for the walls, just for the space taking denial. And if Slasher comes back out on this Bastion, those walls are going to mean absolutely nothing. It's going to be a piece of wet paper in front of us. Okay, we'll see how this actually goes down. I like Aromi going back over to. I do like Aromi going back over to the on their attack. It was so good. It really threw a lot of resources out there. They once again do not have a Kiriko, so they're playing this mental chess battle with the Warriors. Fox Senior High ain't gonna know what's gonna happen. There is the May confirmation of that, and you've got Gnarly Hands back out on this Ramatra. So, I mean, the 17 seconds, is that gonna make the difference between us going 3, or I mean, if we tie here, I mean, so yeah, I mean, we'll go 3 regardless because they did not get any percentage. So we are getting a third map. We will be going. So map number 3, regardless, it's just going to be, is it still match point for Fox, or is it tied up and looking at one final game?
It's in Gateway's control right now. It's in their control. They went with the Ana. They also went with the Ashe and Soldier 76. And it's an interesting selection for them to go through. You'll have the rotation to the point, and you don't have the sight lines. But Tipic was completely away from their team. Senior High, they lose their Lucio like that. Are they going to be able to recover? Absolutely not. This is done. This is set and matched. We're going to game number 3, and at this rate, Billy, it's anybody's match.
It's done. That's it. I mean, Gateway Science Academy, man, something flipped on their switch, and when they finally played the game and really adapted in real time, that's what happened. Twizzy doing the Lord's work on the Ramatra. Just getting it done. I mean, look at this, absolutely huge. Here the nade comes in, boom,
beautiful,
done.
That's it. You just have this synergy, and you know what happens, Billy? When they listen to us, when they make these changes, you adapt. You understand what you're doing. Look what happens to some of these teams. You put a Romy on the Ana, on the Baptiste. You switch up your DPS line. You keep Twizzy doing what they've been doing all game long. That's how you're getting your maps, all right? This is what is making this series close. You have one more map in this game. And honestly, if this game keeps going how it's been going, and the Gators stick to the competition, they don't change anything up too crazily, I feel like this is theirs.
I mean, you really, I think that's good. We're going to head to Esperanza next. And I mean, this is going to be an area where Rogue could actually have a lot of fun on the May. But I mean, we saw Slasher keep trying to bring out the Tracer. Guess what a great map for Tracer is? Esperanza.
Yes, I love me some Tracer on Esperanza. Actually, Tracer's a fun hero. We haven't seen a lot of it today. We've been a lot of Ramatra, which you don't see in many other places. And hey, I'm all for it. We love to see this type of play that we've been going for here today, Billy. And like this is going down to game 3, and I'm trying to imagine what's happening like on the stage right now, like the thoughts that are going through these players' head, because one of them is going to grand finals, one of them going home.
It's not going to be Esperanza. It's going to be Rialto. This was not in my map pool, but I guess this is agreed upon? Question mark.
Yeah, no, we appear to be going to. Yeah, no.
Oh, I guess it is. Yeah.
Wait, is it? Wait, I can't read. I can read! It is Rialto. Billy, you're making me doubt myself. Not good today. Rialto, that is where we're going. This is one of, actually a great escort map that we do see along the way. Good for Brawl, good for area support. There's a lot of different things that you can try both teams, which can be either to their benefit or to their harm. And Gateway Science Academy, they'll be on the defense first. Holding down this bridge is the name of the game.
Well, I mean, the fact that we've seen the Ash, we've seen the Junkrat, I mean, still staying on sides. So, I mean, Slasher wants to get early percentage going. We know that they can build a tire very quickly. Looks like Rogue bringing out the Symmetra again. So you want to set up teleporters. You want to set up a lot of stuff going on. Then the rotation's going to come through. They know it's there. And, well, they just go ahead and let it go.
Yeah, you hold on to this point, hold the high ground, and, yeah. You set yourselves up for success. Fox in your high knows what the threat that is. They just take the teleporter. They're taking the easy route. And just by doing that alone, I mean, look where Gateway is. They're down their Junkrat. Plus, they're forced back into now this wide open space that would have been better to have Slasher alive. Now that you don't have it, sure, the payload might not be moving, but if Gateway end up losing this fight, Fox can get as much push as they desire.
Well, the fact that they weren't pushing actually plays into Gateway's hands. And, I mean, you know, it's all about the setup. It's all about the setup here for the defense. You have to be able to have a kite away position, and the Nantai is huge.
The Nantai is huge. Nana Reed once again falling out of position. That cannot keep happening for your Bastion player because you are just playing into the card that Gateway Science Academy have laid out for them, but they're getting attacked from the backline. Twizzy is clueless to what's going on behind them and are about to be in for a nasty surprise. 3 players with her name on their assassination list. Can they convert on it? Yep, absolutely. And Gateway Science Academy, they had a big chance there. They just couldn't make it happen.
Execution and over pursuit. That's the name of the game there. So I mean, you know, they can take one fight here in the courtyard. It'll be up to Twizzy if they can. Twizzy can get this Terra Surge up. They don't have the sound barrier or the photon barrier to deal with it, but it still goes through through the photon barrier anyway. So, I mean, they need to make a touch. Here comes touch.
Yep, payload.
It's done.
You're in a net matrix with the Bastion. Yeah, it's done. You can say that as many times as you want, Billy. It's gonna end done every single time. Twizzy has a Terra Surge on hand. They're gonna commit it. Okay, does manage to stay alive. I'm assuming that was just more for their own personal benefit, because now that healing come in, and you have the opportunity for Slasher to get this Riptire out. It's the Immortality build, good chunking down of Fox Senior High, but they're so close. The Reinhardt continuing to advance, and Twizzy turns around to chase them and gets off the payload in the process. The chance for stability not even gonna happen because the point is captured.
Oh, that's a horrible decision there. That's a horrible decision, and I mean, because they actually had the staying power. The supports were perfectly healthy and kosher to stay where they were. I mean, you got the shatter out, you survived the shatter. I mean, you had everything in line, other than, you know, meteor or the artillery strike coming in. Amp feed should be coming up next. That's big. It only gets the Immortality Barrier, though. Perfectly timed from Maromi.
It is just the Immortality Barrier. It usually means there's somebody underneath it who is nice and low for good old Nana Reed to clean on. And this is Fox Senior High. They're trying to make their route, their way around the corner of death, that is so called in Rialto. And they're going to get most of the way there. The Gateway Science Academy will be waiting.
L'Angolo della Morte, the quarter of death here in beautiful Rialto. Astronova. This needs to be a big Kitsune rush to stop the aggression coming in, because we're about to have a shatter online.
There's nothing to stop the shatter, at least comparatively, that you would expect to be realistic. But the tire came in tune to that. You wanted the combo, and Twizzy and Slasher have done it before, but you have all the tools against you. You got a good old shield from the Reinhardt. That's the big win con. It's out, it's done, it's down the drain. You need to move on, find something else, and you have that Kitsune rush to do just that, but it still hasn't been committed. Astronova has held on to this ultimate for quite some time, and actually does that a lot with the utility that they have at their disposal. And because they don't do that, they're forced back. They're on the staircase now. Aromi taking some aggression on an off angle, but it's right before the shatter comes out. Kitsune rush, yes, it's there, but way too late for any value to be gained. As Gateway Science Academy sent back reeling. Do they have, wait a minute, Cypher in the Kitsune rush? Did this actually work? From the grave, there's no shot. They were managed to convert that. That is some miracle work coming out, and an expensive one at that.
It was a double support ultimate. That's what cleans the fight up. It's the Amp Matrix and the Kitsune rush, plus the visor. So it's a sped up rate of fire, double the damage. Yeah, you should win that fight. But now, I mean, your larder, you know, I think they went ahead and committed to that because Twizzy and Slasher are so close to ultimates. And now, I mean, the tire is going to be available again. We just saw the tire last fight. Woo! This is going to be stressful.
And it's not only that the Warriors are going to respect Riptire, right? They were telling Mango! They keep doing that! I mean, Mango has easily been one of the best Baptiste players that we have seen all day, and they're just going to push the cart. They're so spread out, they're caught up on the high ground. Fox Senior High didn't allow the Gators to get a touch in after a stellar save on the point. It looks like they gave it up so easily.
Just bad comms there. That's bad comms there. You have to have somebody with eyes on the cart. I mean, yeah, Cypher, you know, losing their life to a fire strike of all things. And now Slasher doing the same thing. Gnarly is actually zoned in with these fire strikes right now, not missing one.
No, neither is Mango. Mango doesn't miss either. I've said it before, I'm saying it again. Mango, one of the best Baptiste that we've seen in this competition today. So consistent in everything that they pump out, and it gets Fox Senior High to the most challenging part of Rialto, this final corridor. Oh, there's not many teams that can manage to break through there. They have about 2 minutes to be able to do so, and they'll bide their time. That Earth Shatter incredibly close for Gnarly Harbor, knowing that there is no direct counter to it. It will be a relatively free win condition, especially with Twizzy having limited support going down. That's the Terra Surge. What will it find? It gets Tippet. That will be great. The Photon Barrier, you can't push up too much from that. Oh, Twizzy almost grabbed Mango. Somehow Mango is still alive. You're like 2 hits there. And Fox Senior High, they're still fighting. Your Shatter went down, but there's not any real follow-up to that. Tippet, though, will be returning to the fight shortly to help make an impact as these trades begin to roll through. Less support, though, on the defensive side. So Astronova was the one with the ultimate. We'll have a quick return back, and you're going to need it if Mango keeps hitting the shots like that they have all game long. Kitsune Rush, Astronova, and we need to see it now. Combo it with the visor. Give your team the chance before they end up going down, because Fox Senior High, they are knocking at your door, about to break it down, kick it. Why don't you? No Kitsune Rush still to come as Fox Senior High managed to get a full completion on Rialto with time to spare.
That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy that they get that done there. And wow, this is some serious fight back. I mean, they lose Eichenwalde in extra innings, right? And I mean, they weren't expecting to lose that. They thought they had it in the bag. So now we see the anger. We see the resilience. We see the moxie from this Fox team come out and put up one heck of a performance here in the streets of Italy. My word. I don't know. I don't know what our Gators got left in the tank here, Tiny. Yep. You held on to that Kitsune Rush for so long. Putting that Kitsune Rush would have, halved the cooldown times for Twizzy. Twizzy would have been able to sustain a lot longer if he would have gotten that out. Just an opportunity missed. There's points in this match where we can say, this happened, this happened, this happened. That's one of those moments right there. That's a moment where the Gators, if they end up going down, they're going to want to have back.
It's like it seriously comes down to just some of these split-second timing things, and you have to be able to make adjustments, right? And it's not even to the heroes at this point. Understand that if you wait so long to try something, you're going to completely miss an opportunity altogether. Now this, Billy, this is interesting. They're gonna rush from behind. Is anybody ready for the Bionet coming in? Coming on to 3. Everyone is able to stay alive. It takes a lot to do so, but Mango is doing their job correctly. As trying to run away, though. I mean, Gateway, Science, whether they were ready for it or not, I would have guessed so with a Bionet read from Arami.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you're going down here. This is first fight won and taken care of. I mean, they're getting stall potential here. They're going to force the ice block. Yep, Rogue done. This buys you the first 2 corners.
It was a high risk, high reward, right? That's what the Fox Senior High Warriors were going for. Get this hold at the spawn. They know that they're that's close range, and again, a bit more of an open area. It's going to be more difficult to use Rogue's May walls to isolate some of these players, and ideally, they're almost going to let this payload get to the completion of the 3rd point. And it's the best spot for them to hang out, right? It's the best spot for them to start to hold down, let Gnarly Harbor get some of this damage in. Of course, Mango already has an At Matrix. Who's surprised? Certainly not me. Gateway Science Academy, they don't have the resources to keep persisting. A lot of their players starting to tick low, especially Cypher. That's the Nano panicked onto the Bastion. You don't have that to combo up in the end, especially with their frozen in. Oh, this is the Rogue that we know, Billy. It's only a matter of time before that Blizzard came back online. Can it sustain through everything else? That's Twizzy gone. So many ultimates using this fights, and they're by Gateway. What is that? 3 of your main win conditions just poof into thin air.
Oh, talk about throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Oh my God.
I mean, they tried everything, and it just did. I mean, overinvestment. What a perfect counter to 3 ultimates. Rogue getting it done.
Does it every single time, and they're already halfway to another Blizzard, Billy. We're gonna see one up here very soon, perhaps even in this fight. If they keep doing, if they keep performing how they have been before. Gnarly Harbor getting incredibly aggressive, met with a sleep dart that's gonna slow some of the progress. Once Gnarly Harbor rudely awakens here, Senior Fox Warriors will be on the move once again. 90 seconds now for the Gators to make a comeback.
Well, we will see what they have coming up their sleeve here. Ashinova, Kitsune Rush can buy you the corner here. This payload was almost at the end of point A. It has now gone back to the 2nd corner, one of the hardest corners on this map. Other than Angelo della Morte, this one is the corner that is the most dangerous. Oh my God, nobody goes down. How do you not die?
Wow. I mean, it's not even a whiff on Nano Reed's part. It is literally just the movement of the Gateway Science Academy Gators to keep themselves alive. And, I mean, as good as it is, like you said, this is one of the more difficult corners to complete here on Rialto. And they're going to be met with another Blizzard to come through when it happens.
This is where I would go aerial. This is where I would bring an Echo in. We haven't even seen, like, an Echo. I mean, Echo would be so good here. But you know, we're going to go ahead and push forward with the damage.
You have to, right? You have to try to find something to burn through Gnarly Harbor, but if your Bastion's frozen up and just standing there doing nothing, then you don't have options. It has to be on the rest of the team. All those ultimates committed once again.
Twizzy.
The Nano Boost plus the Twizzy Annihilation. It's what a fight. Every single time, Gateway, we're just trying to build it up, and it's going to get them close to the objective, but a recontest is 100% possible.
Looking for Gnarly Harbor to build up this Annihilation. They've got the Astronova. Consider Rush. Yeah, please put it out.
You have to use, there it is, Kitsune Rush on the field. Those are these accelerated cooldowns. That's Rogue already gone. See what happens when you use your ultimates and you do it first, Gators. That is what keeps you in the series and will get them this point. They're not out of Rialto just yet.
Oh, no, they are not. No, they're not. I mean, perfect Bionade once again coming in from Moromi, the support star for your Gator squad. And, you know, Gnarly does build up to this Annihilation. 2:14 as we get across the bridge. We'll join battle at L'Angolo de la Muerte. Que la Fueta. Let's see what they got.
This one's going to be a tough one to go through, especially when I see an Annihilation checked up on the Fox's screen. All they're going to do is just to do a classic Gnarly drop down and, yeah, goodbye. Goodbye! That's what I have to say to Gateway. Unless they can find something, the Bionade very helpful, but they will even more here. Yep, Warriors fight win to be expected. The Gateway Warriors, they're going to have to do an even more difficult corner of death.
Well, I mean, they do get the Annihilation out. That's fine. Oh, can he get out? Can he get out? Can he get out? No, he cannot get out. Evil Stagger. 90 seconds left on the clock. You're looking for ultimates. Ultimates are the way to get it done. This is the way that we need to do it. And you're running into an amp matrix. You're running into a sound barrier. 75 seconds left here. This is the tournament life here on the line for the Gators.
Well, this is the final fight. What I'm looking at, we got a Nano coming up. We have an Annihilation. It's one them fight time and time again, but they need to stay alive long enough in order for that to become a reality. Look what the Foxes are working with. That's already ciphered down. Application Matrix. Even if it comes through, Billy, Twizzy's gonna have to push straight in front of it. Sightlines at the Annihilation pops just to stay alive. Nano Boost out as well. Fox have all of the sustain in the world. The Blizzard, the ultimates, the sound barrier, of everything coming out from them. But Twizzy still won't prevail. Billy, this should not be possible. Yet here we are for the second time this map. The payload looking to roll through. Foxes, they can't get a contest, can they? I mean, they're very close. Are they going to grab a punch? Mango throws themselves out to the payload. Okay, this is 100% winnable for the Fox. The artillery strike still at the win, but Twizzy on the reign of terror. Not done fighting just yet. Cypher now coming up. Artillery strike loses their life. Very risky position to pull that one out. Gateway, they're fighting. That's the Kitsune Rush. It must come up here and now. Nova, if you are in this fight, the supports, they're cut off. Nope. They were taken down. Gnarly Harbor got around behind them. The Fox Senior Warriors in a battle of 3 maps, Billy, have proved themselves. The reign shall continue as they move up to the losers finals.
Oh my goodness, this went the distance. This was everything that we wanted in the loser semifinal.
Oh my.
Every team fighting tooth and nail. I'm exhausted from how much that just hurt my soul to see that happen. Holding on to ultimates, they started getting it done. Tiny, they started being aggressive with their ultimate usage, and this is what happens on the back of the Blizzard and the Annihilation going in, and they turned the fight. 5 kills right there. Good God. I don't know. I don't know how they turned it. It shouldn't have happened.
No, it shouldn't have happened. It simply should not have happened. And there's a lot of points like that today for the Gators, and they fought incredibly valiantly through this entire series. And we couldn't have asked for a better match between these two squads. I mean, they fought close. You can tell we're getting down to the wire. The teams that are remaining, they're very tight in terms of the competition that is up there. Our current undefeated team, they went down to the Foxes went down to them in a reverse sweep fashion. Those games, they were very close, and I mean, they're getting closer to a rematch. You can tell that they want it. There's one more team that's going to stand in their way. The home squad, St. Charles High School, lies waiting for the Fox team in the losers finals. But before we get there, we're gonna go to a break. I'm gonna get some water. I'm sure you guys need it. Make sure you guys stay hydrated too on the stage, as we got plenty more coming your way.